We're recording. Hi, everyone. Welcome to what week are we? 6?
6.
Oh my gosh. Very exciting. Welcome to week 6. How was it this week? What stood out? What was positive? What was challenging? What can you tell me about this week?
All right.
One thing that stood out to me was both teams using CSS variables and jumping into something new. Like, that was very cool to see.
Love that.
I'll say what jumped out to me was how quickly everyone got started and got to a good point. I think you all jumped to that real quick understanding of the goodness of getting to the, getting that first 80% done relatively short, and then being able to hammer on something hard for the rest of the remaining time. But it was really awesome to see not just the speed, but more so the communication and how thorough you were in hitting that 80%. Both teams really just kind of out the gate, and that was awesome.
Yeah, super good planning. I thought, I loved everyone's checklists for the steps that they were going to take. I thought that was really awesome.
I hit I've always known that styling and stuff is problematic for me. But I just kind of was reminded of how much of a barrier that is for me. So that was good to come into.
Cool. Sarah, Elise, do you have anything that stood out this week in terms of the project?
I think ours went well. I was surprised at how easily it went, and I feel like I'm not Googling as long anymore. Stuff seems to just be going faster, and I really liked actually getting back into CSS stuff. It's been a while, and it kind of just came back, and so that was fun.
Cool. Elise?
I would say for me, what stood out this week was pair programming. I feel like we clicked really well when going through the code, and whenever one other person had a question, we were both able to kind of contribute. So that went well.
Awesome. Yay, collaboration. Okay, Steve, do you want to handle demos? Do you mind?
Sure. Yeah. So did any team volunteer to go first this week?
Lauren wanted our team to go first, I think. That's what I read, anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. If you'd like to do that, that's great.
Yeah. Then I think Scott, because Miles isn't here, so Scott, you can take it away.
All right. All right, can everybody see this? All right. Okay. So what we were going out to accomplish was to have our items visually grouped in an order of soon, kind of soon, not soon, and inactive. Having all of them grouped by the estimated numbers of days, and having them alphabetical within that. So item 4 and that one are kind of similar in that they're just having distinct visualization, and then adding in the screen reader detail. And so this is our list. And so we've got some basic styling just to make them visually different here, in addition to the colors. And you can see over here that they're sorted soon, kind of soon, not soon, and inactive.
Awesome. That's great.
See, so let me, I found out that my nemesis is voiceover. So let me I think I'll just go through that part of it here. So I'm firing up. Can you guys hear that?
No, voiceover doesn't work
No?
like that. I've been at demos before, yeah, so we can't hear your voiceover.
I know there might be a slight way is if when you share, you tell it to share computer audio.
Oh, okay.
I
Let
don't
me
know. If
reset that. Let's see, so just hit share and
share screen, there should be a checkbox that's really hard to find on the
share
bottom
computer
of the share
sound.
screen.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, because if you're listening to us through headphones too, I know it won't work that way.
Oh, so I have to take my headphones out?
Well, is that right, Jason? Or?
That could be true.
Nice. I can't hear anything now.
I think it's maybe not, is it even on?
Oh, wait, now I can hear you. I'm going to, Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I couldn't hear anybody there for a minute.
Voiceover on Zoom.us.
There we go.
System dialog. ID 816-519-7587. Move to bottom button. Voiceover off.
Can people hear the voiceover?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, you can. Okay, sorry. I'm not sure here. All right.
Voiceover on Zoom.us. Windows spot. You are currently in a voiceover menu. This is a list of voice. Chrome.
Yes.
TCL-6 Smart. Voiceover off.
This has been my nemesis. It's like it.
Voiceover on Chrome. Windows spot. Links menu. Web spot. Articles menu.
And
No items in. Articles menu.
for some reason now it's not doing what I'm expecting it to do.
If you tab through, it might get to the page and then get to where
Visited. Link. Details. Closing. Busy. You are currently on a group. To interact with articles menu. Links. Form control. Web spot. Articles menu.
Oy.
TCL-6 Smart Shopping List. Web content. Closing. TCL-6 Smart Shopping List. Selected. Tab. You are currently articles menu. Links menu. Form controls. Web spots menu. No items in. Web spots menu. No items in. Web spots menu. No items in. Web spots menu.
Now it won't even stop.
Voiceover off.
Voiceover.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like it was working fine. I don't know what the difference is right now.
Should it be the inspectors
Might be.
open?
Yeah, that was my first thought actually. Let me try that and see if.
And you might be able to kickstart it if you tab into the page so that it kind of gets awareness of, all right, I'm in the content.
Okay.
And I know, I knew it was for you too. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah, testing in VoiceOver and in JAWS gives you a different appreciation for just how hard.
Very challenging. Super challenging. Yeah, and if it keeps being a little bit fussy, you can just show us what you did in the code. I know that
Okay.
we've all tested it out, so you can show.
So I'll just go straight to that here. So the screen reader is reading the, this is the category, like soon, kind of soon, not soon. It's not reading that. I've got it hidden from Aria.
Do you have to
Can you show your screen again?
Oh, that went away too. Challenges.
Live demos are fun.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the category, soon, kind of soon, not soon, etc. The screen readers are not reading that. And they're not reading that because I do have them reading this fuller text. So that would be kind of repetitive for someone who's relying on VoiceOver.
Nice.
And then it is reading the button, which is just what it does, purchases, and then it tells you purchase and the item name. And that item name is screen reader only. The only thing of note otherwise, I think, is just we did some sorting, and this is literally like, I think these are both almost identical to what MDN has. And then this was pretty cool what Jason showed us about merging these two lists, because I wanted to pull out all the the soon, kind of soon, not soon items out of the main list, and then grab the inactive items, and then create one array with the inactive items at the bottom. So that was kind of cool to do, to pull everything I wanted out of that larger list and then smash them back together the way I wanted them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to show us the screen reader only class, the CSS?
Oh yeah, okay. So I did a lot of Googling to try and figure out how to hide stuff from screen readers and show stuff only to screen readers. And this CSS popped up in, I don't know, something like 5 different places, like identically. So what it seems to be doing is, I'm not sure exactly why this absolute is important, but it's hiding whatever you've got down to 1 pixel, so it's just not viewable. And then I'm assuming, like this stuff I couldn't really understand why. The overflow is a little bit more apparent, but didn't really understand why this stuff was necessary. Again, I think it's just like for various screens or various browsers and how they hide or show things, like just making sure it's invisible.
And then where did you use that screen reader only class?
Okay, so that is on a list item, and we're using it on the category name, which is shown here, the soon, kind of soon. And I'm also using it, or I'm sorry, that I'm hiding. I've got that backwards. So I'm using the screen reader only for the next purchase, this longer phrase here.
Gotcha.
And then also on making sure that the buttons here, when they're red, it doesn't just say purchase, but as Lauren pointed out, it'd be good if they knew what they were purchasing. So it'll say purchase and then the item name here. And the item name is screen reader only.
Nice.
Cool.
I like it.
Awesome. Nice work. Well, how about Elise and Sarah? Who would like to lead off on this one?
Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, everyone can see my screen okay? All right, so we were tasked with deleting an item from the shopping list. So just go to the shopping list, and what happens is once you click the delete trash can, just want to make sure that you're really positive that you want to delete this, and then you hit OK, and it's gone. So yeah, and then we, of course, added some more design features to the list.
Nice, that looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then can you show when you hit cancel that it doesn't go and delete it, it just kind of resets it? Yeah.
Sarah, do you want me to keep my screen up or?
I can share the code. I have it open.
Okay.
Okay, so then for the code, we were mostly in shopping.js and then the list item.js. So in shopping.js, we made this handle click function, and then we passed it the name, the ID, and the token, and then to like delete. So this is the database stuff, deleting it. It's getting the collection and then the document ID, and then it's saying delete it. So this is like our if else. So the window confirm will pop up and it'll say, are you sure you want to delete? And then whatever you clicked on. And if you say okay, it'll run this. If you say cancel, it'll stop. So the window we started with alert, but alert only gives you one button, and so the window confirm gives you two. So that's why we switched to that.
Mm.
And then so we just passed that. It went too far. We passed that down to the list item. We made an on delete handle click, and then we passed those three down so then we could reuse them. So then in our list item, we passed on delete up here so it could work, and then down here we just attached it to our an image that we stuck at the end of that list item. So they have all that stuff, the button and then the two buttons. And so we added this button. So it has a class name of trash. And then we did add an item. So there's an images folder and then a trash can icon. So that's just the SVG thing. And then added alt text, so just delete item. So yeah, this is our image import up here. So then in the CSS, we did have like just a trash can or a delete button CSS, but it only had that one class in it, so I consolidated it. It just had this in it, so I just stuck it in the list item CSS. And I messed with the colors a little bit of the other buttons to make them the same height. And then, so this is just kind of what I did. I used Flexbox to get the buttons like the same height and this aligning the same on the same baseline. So that was a little bit, took some trial and error. And then this, if you notice the little check mark before purchased, I Googled like the hex code. I forget exactly, but the code for check mark. So that's where that green check mark comes from. And then this highlight color is that green. And so then, and the app.css is where the CSS color variables are. So the dot root selects everything. And then, so I named the green highlight color, and then I used a light gray and a dark gray. And then, so you'll see those names throughout for the color replacements. And then Elise and I didn't do it for white and black, but I think when we get more into the visuals end of things, that it can be something that's done to help improve the code. So is that everything, Elise?
Yes.
Okay.
Covered everything nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Nice demos.
Yeah.
Wow. Super nice demos.
Yeah,
Okay.
great work.
Yeah. Really good, like super creative solutions. And I love like finding, where did you find the trash can icon?
That was,
I have a graphic design background, so I have like Adobe Illustrator and stuff. Elise and I first went to the Noun project, but they like recently changed that so it's not free anymore, and it has this like copyright like a thing below it unless you have like the paid version. So we didn't want to have like someone's, so I just found a Creative Commons one and modified it a little bit to one that was more of so like what we were talked about we liked when we were looking at them.
Nice.
Good job.
Trash can shopping.
All right, we ready for retrospective?
Yes. I will share when I find it. My screen. I have way too many browser windows open. Okay. All right, can everyone see this okay?
mm-hmm.
Sweet. So we'll start off today with our appreciations tabs, and we've got quite the packed list, which is super awesome. So let's kick off with our appreciations. So from Steve, we have an appreciation for Elise and Sarah for knocking out deleting items and great use of CSS variables. And for Laura for really jumping in quickly, and it is great having you here with TCL-6. And Elise, had the following appreciations. One for Lauren for helping out the last couple weeks and how extremely helpful her insight has been. And for Sarah, learning something new when they pair program together, and she's thankful for that. And as always, she loves the team's midweek meetups. So that's super awesome to hear. And from Sarah, we have an appreciation for Lauren for her quick responses and help in Slack, and Elise for ease to work with, and noting that she would make a great coworker. That's awesome. My appreciation for this week, or one of them, since I added 3 cards instead of condensing, like combining like everyone else did. My bad. First off, Lauren, thank you for jumping right in and just being such a rock star leader. I love how you've come in and kind of just modeled approaches and been super like plugged in. And I really enjoy reading your reviews on everyone's PRs. I've been taking some notes for things that I want to do better at. I wish you could review my PRs at work, because my reviews are usually just, all right, cool.
It's good to me.
Oh man, LGTM. It's like you can't even type out looks good to me. Elise and Sarah, an appreciation for you for your excellent work on this week's feature. And just noted how it was buttery smooth and looked great when I went to it on production. And Scott and Miles, you worked diligently and hard and openly communicated throughout when trying to figure out the best approach to the sorting visualization challenge. And I think we ended up on a great place, and it went super smooth and it works well. And then from Scott, we have one from Miles for hanging in here with the program, even though there's been some non-code things happening, and and also for their showing Scott color theory concepts and running through that. This is a nice, great, long column of appreciations. This makes my heart sing. And so now we'll talk about what went well and what we should keep doing. Lauren loves seeing everyone's plans being laid out ahead of time, and I definitely would agree there and say we should definitely keep doing that. From Elise, communication has been really good, but it's great that they're able to quick to reach out whenever you need help, which is the mark of any great team. From Steve, collaboration continues to go really well, and PRs were open early. Sarah noted that issue branches were merged for the demo for the past 2 weeks now, and how it feels good for her to be ready. And collaboration is going well, and breaking down bigger problems into smaller steps, assigning steps, and then coming back together and work and share what's learned. And from Scott, it was between SVGs, screen readers, and color blindness accessibility. Both teams effectively delved into new areas of tech, beyond just writing code. Oh, excuse me. And then for things that we can improve upon going forward, from Lauren, a bit more noise and snack, wow, tells you I'm hungry, in Slack. Laura, would you like to expound a bit on that?
Yeah, I think it's really fun. It's nice throughout the week just to, even if you have time to post, it doesn't have to be related to what we're doing as part of Collab Lab, but just like check in, hey, how are you doing? Or a positive GIF or something just to keep people motivated. I love, like, it's so great getting questions in Slack. I love it that people are reaching out when they're needing help, and that's awesome. But like, don't be afraid to just pop in and say hi. Let us know how you're doing.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and I apologize. I didn't know that with this group that we did retros ahead of time. We did like pre-retro. Previous cohorts, we did them kind of on the spot. So I'll contribute more next time.
Cool. Thank you, Lauren. So from Elise, we have creating a model from scratch. The attempt this time kind of didn't go as planned, but it's on the list of things to have a better understanding of. And I think there'll probably be at least one or a few more opportunities. So I would say an action item here is just, you got feature work coming up.
And I would add too, just even that experience of trying it out and then finding some way to get it to work that was really awesome. Like that window.confirm was a really great choice and pivot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, and that's especially along with Steven saying another that's the other side of oh wow, I just blanked. It'll come back to me. It's the other side of what we talk about when we say you do exactly what you need to do to meet the AC first for its criteria, right? It's like that experience of let's dive deep and then all right, let's pull back, let's get it out the door. There's always improvement, right? We can always treat it agile. Scott would like to make it a goal to learn 3 to 5 keyboard shortcuts per week. We're working with mentors. Impressed with how well they navigate and get things done without relying on the mouse as much. Super awesome, I think, thing to work towards. It builds up over time. It definitely does. I can't even tell you how unintentionally I've learned a lot of keyword shortcuts personally. But when it clicks, oh man, it's great. And then our last one was for me, which was as a mentor that's acting as a product owner, I could have and should have given clearer guidance suggestions to the team pertaining to the distinctive color separation between the items for sorting. In particular, I called this out for myself because it is still a practice and a work in progress to shift hats between I'm here as a mentor and like a technical guide, but you're asking me a question from an acceptance criteria standpoint, and that actually requires me to throw that hat away and put on the product hat of this will solve the problem, right? And while I think we learned a lot in that exploration and we dove through some really interesting solutions, and I think you and Miles came up with some different things like creating a legend, which I would have never suggested. It just wouldn't have occurred to me. So I think there was a lot of great that came out of that, but I could have helped us burn a few less cycles by just kind of keeping it focused to the AC first, then diving into the technical aspect once we talked about that. So just a little reminder note for me. Cool. Any items or suggestions or actions that we feel like we need to take going forward? Mentors, anything? Sweet. Well, I say we can wrap this and put a bow on it. This retro's done. Thank you all for playing.
Thanks, everyone. Okay, oh my gosh. Flying through this meeting. Okay, first of all, great work this week, everyone. I thought it was amazing how, like what Jason was saying, how quickly we all got up to like 80% what the tickets were about, and then found creative solutions for the last part, which is honestly what happens all the time. So good job. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen and we'll look at the issues for next week. Okay, so we have 13 and 14. So we have, as a user, I want to view details of my purchases to better understand my purchase patterns. From the shopping list, the user can navigate to a detailed view of the item and will give specific information about that item. And then number 14, I can't believe we only have 5 issues left. As a user, I want the welcome screen to look pretty. So the welcome screen, the screen a user sees before they've created their list looks something like this, or the equivalent. You can use your creativity, or you can use this as like, this is the mock that I'm going for. So are there any issues in particular that people are drawn to?
Can I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
For our design aesthetic, is it like, should we meet as a team to be like, oh, hey, this is something that we all like, versus like one group just deciding, and then what are people's thoughts?
I think that makes sense. I've thought the same thing since we started. I knew that was going to become an issue at some point. So makes sense to at least have some sort of group plan, even if it's not super specific.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
Cool beans. That's all.
Cool. So yeah, it might be good to meet earlier in the week to talk about those decisions and maybe even some kind of architectural decisions, like where is the styling information going to live for your application, for example. So the pairs this week, I'm sorry, I didn't say that. So Elise and Scott are paired this week, and Sarah and Miles are paired. So is there any issue in particular that anyone's like, yeah, I really need to work on that issue?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to go in order. So Elise and Scott are going to do issue 13, and that's the details issue. And then Sarah and Miles are going to work on making the welcome screen look beautiful. Sound good?
Cool beans.
Sounds good.
Ventures? Any druthers?
Jay, you want to pick it this week?
I didn't pick last week. I could have sworn I picked last week.
Oh wait, did I? Well, I'll pick that. I'll go with details view.
Okay, Steve is details view. Jason?
Welcome screen. I belong to you this week.
Beautiful. Okay, so now, okay, this is the hardest part of my job.
Breakout rooms.
To figure out how to do breakout rooms. Okay, so breakout rooms. Okay, here I go. Oh, manually. I need to do it manually. Create breakout rooms.
I have faith in you.
Not digitally.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have